Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Um, I had some issues with connectivity earlier when I was testing things out. So if for any reason it drops or something goes awry, you can shout out something in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it. And then you can always go back to our main YouTube channel page and it will pop up for you there just in case something happens. Hopefully, we will be golden. So welcome to your Monday night practice. I'm happy to be here to move with you all tonight, kind of shake off the Monday vibes. If you're new or haven't practiced with me, I'm Jaime. And as always, this space and this place tonight is just time for you to find what you need and leave what you don't. So if Monday has just been extra, nap time is always the first and best option. I can't see you, so you can just grab a pillow and a blanket, take a little nap. We'll make sure you wake up at namaste. If you're needing more than what I'm offering tonight, feel free to add on or modify, just making sure that you're meeting the needs of your body and your breath. And really taking from this practice something that can carry you into the rest of your evening, the rest of your week, whatever might lie ahead. The playlist link is in the chat and also in the description for class. So if you are wanting to enjoy that, go ahead and hit play. And we're going to get started laying down flat on our backs. So just coming to a nice comfy place on the back. And you can kind of choose what works best for you. So maybe legs are nice and long. Maybe you have the knees bent, feet planted. Just making sure that the back feels supported. The head and neck and shoulders feel nice and happy wherever you're at. And just letting everything come to rest and relax here. And as with all of our practices, just starting with that space and that place of awareness. Recognizing how the breath is moving in and out of the body. If it feels nice and easy and fluid, or if it feels like a bit of a challenge. Just kind of taking stock, making a note of that. And bringing that same attention and awareness to the body. Checking in on areas that might feel a little stuck or cranky tonight. Areas that might need a little extra love or attention as we start to move. Just making a mental note. Holding space for that. And then just bringing that same awareness to the mind. I don't know about the rest of you, but lately Mondays have just been extra Monday-ish. And I feel like a couple of you have mentioned that as well. So just kind of recognizing all of the thoughts, the tasks, the to-dos that are floating around in your mind. And maybe just gently with these first couple breaths of class, letting go of some of those things if they're not going to serve you right now in this moment within these four corners of your mat. Knowing that you can pick them back up when we're done, but for now, just gently letting them kind of fall to the side, allowing your focus to come back to the breath, back to the body. And then just starting to bring a little more intention to the breath. Inhaling fully, filling up the belly with air. Exhaling fully, letting all of that air go. Just allowing this breath to create a little bit of energy, to bring a little bit of life force into you, but also have that sense of ease. allowing it to flow in and out, finding that easy, equal rhythm of inhale and exhale. Spending just a few more moments here with this breath in this stillness. Allowing the mind to start to focus or zero in on an intention that you want for your practice tonight. Whether that be finding a little peace or space from your workday, the busyness of a Monday, the start of a new week. Whether that be just getting down into the body, feeling all of those movements and kind of working out the kinks, or if it's something else entirely, just taking some time to allow that to form and allow it to settle in the mind, in the heart. We're going to start to hug knees in towards the chest here, finding a little movement side to side, rolling out that low back. We're going to start to move the hands over to that right knee, keeping it hugged in towards the chest. That left foot is going to come right down to the mat, planting that foot, hugging that right knee in, allowing the neck and the shoulders to stay nice and loose, melting down towards the mat still. We're going to start to move the hands to the back of that right thigh, and then gently starting to press that foot up towards the sky. Lengthening through that whole leg, pressing up through the heel, toes are coming back towards the face. Making sure the head and neck are staying easy here. We don't want to get all sorts of cramped up, but keeping everything nice and loose and just finding the power of that leg, lengthening out. We'll start to bend in that right knee, hugging it back in towards the chest, and then just bringing that right foot down to meet the left. Same thing other side. Left knee hugs in, and hands on shins or that thigh, just hugging that knee in to start. And we'll start to move the hands to the back of the right thigh, left thigh, pressing that foot up towards the sky. And again, just settling into that length of the leg. Heels pressing up, toes are coming back towards the face. Finding that stretch through the hamstring, the calf. Using this kind of stillness as we settle into these little stretches to check in with the body. It's a good place to kind of see how things are feeling, recognizing things that maybe you need to do a little less, be a little more gentle with, or maybe areas that are just wanting all of the stretch and the attention and the movement. We'll start to bend into that left knee. Bringing the right knee in to meet the left, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Hands are going to come out into that cactus arm shape, keeping the knees hugged in. We're going to start to drop them over towards the right. So settling over into our twist here. It doesn't have to be a super deep twist, just kind of finding that space, that stretch to the side body. Using the breath to create length. from hip to armpit, just lengthening it out. And then we'll start to bring the knees back to center. Pausing there in the center for a moment, keeping those arms in that cactus arm shape, keeping the knees hugged in. When you're ready, dropping the knees over to the left. I'm going to try to do this without smashing into my plant children here. And again, just allowing yourself to settle into this twist. Feeling that length through the entirety of that right side body. Keeping that breath deep and full in the belly. We'll start to bring knees back to center. Hugging the knees in one more time here. And then just starting to find a little forward and back movement. Any way you want to get there, we're making our way up and over all the way into our table shape. Getting set up, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We're going to take a couple rounds of our cat-cow here. So inhale, drops the belly, lifts the heart. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing away. Moving through these shapes a few times with your breath. Pausing when you need to pause. Maybe adding extra movement if and when it makes sense. We'll take 2 more rounds of this cat-cow shape here. Starting to settle into our nice flat tabletop. We're going to start to send those right toes back behind us, keeping the toes on the mat to start, just gently pressing through that right heel, lengthening through the leg. Maybe a little release of that calf muscle. And then coming back to that neutral space. Crown of the head's going to reach forward. We want to make sure that the neck is staying nice and long, that we're not getting distracted by what's going on back there with our right foot. And we're going to start to float that back foot. Making sure to keep the tabletop nice and strong. We don't want to get really crazy and lower the belly. So keeping everything nice long line here. We're going to start to crunch that knee in towards the chest as you round the back. And then inhale, lengthening it right back out. If you want to work that left arm in as well for these crunches, you can. But tonight, we're just going to keep it easy, finding this movement with just the leg. Focusing on that length. One more crunch. Nice long reach. We're just going to cross that right foot back behind us, looking over the left shoulder, finding that nice long side stretch. And then we'll just gently bring that right knee back, settling back into our tabletop. Left toes reach back, toes stay on the mat again, pressing through that heel, lengthening through that whole leg. And then bringing it back to neutral, we'll start to fly that left foot off the mat. Pausing here for a moment, maybe you decide if you want to work in that right arm or not. And then we're going to start to find that knee in towards the chest. Inhale, kicks that foot right back out. Moving through this a couple times. Finding that connection of movement and breath. Tonight, throughout our practice, you might notice a few things that I've borrowed from Mickey and Seville, mostly because when we did them, it just felt really happy in my body. So hopefully it also feels happy in yours. We're going to cross that left foot back behind us, looking over the right shoulder. Breathing space into the side body. And then bringing that knee back to meet the other. Inhale, drops the belly, lifts the heart. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing away. Moving back into our table. Tucking the toes, lifting hips, down dog. We're going to spend just a couple breaths here. Maybe you bend into the knees, walking it out. This might be your first down dog of the day, so just taking some time to settle in here, exploring all the little sensations that might be happening. Just settling into stillness in this shape. Heels pressed down and back. Hips are pressing up towards the sky. We're going to put a bend into those knees, looking forward between the hands, and just taking a little stroll, feet to hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Folding forward. Slowly, keeping a bend in the knees, we're going to roll all the way up. Once you're there, nice big reach, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands, heart center. Inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift, nice flat back. Folding forward. Inhale, reaches all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to move through that 2 more times here with your pace of your own breath. Finding that movement, finding that connection. Inhale to reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll start to add on this round. Inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Left foot's going to stay, right foot steps back. Staying up on those back toes. We're going to come all the way up, high lunge. Settling into the feet here, feeling that nice strong foundation. We're going to come into a little bit of a side stretch, similar to something that Mickey taught the other day. So we're going to turn the palms to face away from each other, and then crossing the hands, pressing the palms into each other. So hands will look like this, just lengthened. And then we're going to start to reach with those hands over towards that left side of your mat. Pressing actively through that right heel. Breathing into the side body. Bringing it back to center. Releasing those hands back into our high lunge. Hands come down around the foot. Any way you want to get there, stepping it back. Down dog. You have the option to move through a vinyasa if you want it. I haven't worked any into class, but if you know that you like that transition, it's there for you. You can hang out in this down dog shape. You can drop to table. Maybe you come to child's pose. Just taking 5 breaths, finding what you need, movement or stillness. From our down dog, right foot reaches up and back, stepping it forward. Staying up on those back toes, coming on up, high lunge. And again, just taking a moment to pause and settle in here. Feeling the power in the legs. We'll turn the palms to face away from each other. If you can remember which hand was on bottom the last time, maybe switch it up as you find that cross. Palms press into each other, and then we're going to start to reach those arms over towards the right side of your mat. Actively pressing through that left foot. Gently bringing it back to center. Releasing the hands. Hands come down around the foot. We're just stepping that back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Folding forward. Inhale, reaches all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, nice big reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to start to shift weight into that left foot. Right knee is going to come up. So you have a couple options here. You can keep hands at heart. You can also bring hands to the hips if that's a little bit more comfortable for you. And then we're going to start to take that right knee just out to the side. Maybe you guide it with the right hand. That's an option. And then bringing that knee back to center. Bringing that foot down to meet the other. Same thing other side. Shifting weight to that right foot. Left knee comes up. Pausing here. Finding that balance. Taking that left knee out to the side. Bringing it back to center. Both feet on the ground. Inhale, reaches up. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Left foot steps back. Staying up on those back toes, coming all the way up, high lunge. Settling into the feet again, feeling that nice strong foundation. We're going to start to bring hands to heart center as we tilt forward. We're going to twist towards that right thigh. Maybe the elbow taps the thigh. Coming back to center, reaching up as you straighten that front knee. Moving through this a couple times. Knee bends, hand to heart. As you lean, maybe you add that twist and tap. And then reaching all the way up. 2 more times just like that. Taking it nice and slow. Doing less if you need to do less. Last one. Reaching up. We're going to bend into that front knee. Hands can stay reaching up towards the sky. You can also bring them to heart center. We're going to start to shift that weight towards the front foot, bringing that left knee all the way up to the chest, and then bringing it down to meet the right. Inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Left foot stays, right foot steps back. Setting up for that high lunge. Reaching up. We're going to do the same thing we did on that other side. Hands come to heart as you lean forward. Maybe you add in that twist and tap. Bringing it back to center. Reaching up as you straighten that front knee. Moving through this a couple times. Again, just settling back into that connection, that rhythm of movement and breath. Maybe you pause if that's what the body is needing. Ooh. Maybe you use your mantle to help you stay upright. Last little tap here. Reaching up. Bending into that front knee. Again, hands can stay reaching up or hands to heart center. Shifting that weight forward, bringing that right knee up to the chest. Both feet on the ground. Exhale, hands to heart. Pausing here for a moment. Maybe the eyes close. Gaze can drift to the floor. Maybe you place hand over heart. Settling back into that rhythm of your heartbeat, rhythm of the breath. Starting to blink the eyes open. Reaching those hands up towards the sky. So we're going to come into this same kind of crossed hand situation. I'll just come down into chair to show you so you can see my hands. So we're going to take the right hand will be at the back, at the front, just kidding. So the right hand, the palms are pressing into each other. And then we're just going to start to press over towards the right. So I'm going to mirror you so it's easier. So this nice long side stretch. Hands are pressing into each other. It's that little bit of balance of power in the hands. Breathing into that side body. Coming back to center. Same thing, other side. Reaching up and over. Coming back to center. Releasing that little clasp of the hands, hands to heart center. Inhale, nice big reach. Hands are going to come to heart. We're going to start to shift weight into that left foot. Right knee comes up. Finding a little moment of balance here. And then slowly, gently, we're going to start to step that foot all the way back. Planting that back heel, coming on up. Warrior one. Settling in for a breath. Feeling the power through both legs here. And then we're going to open it up. Warrior two. Reaching those left fingertips forward. Forearm's going to come down to thigh. Right arm's going to reach up towards the sky here. Settling into this extended side angle. Feeling that length through both sides of the body here, making sure that you're not putting all of that weight into that bottom shoulder, but really lifting up and out. You have the option to stay, or maybe starting to straighten that front knee, that hand can drop down, settling into your triangle. If that top arm starts to feel really tired, you can always bring it down to the hip. Again, finding that length through the sides. If you're in that triangle, bending that knee, coming back, extended side angle. Bringing it back, warrior two. Hands are going to come to heart center. We're just going to turn all those toes towards the right side of your mat and then just angling them out about 45 degrees. Finding your happy yoga face. We're going to start to sit on down into our goddess or horse pose. So you get to choose your level of torture here. Settling in for a couple breaths. We're gonna add a little bit of side stretches here. So we're gonna bring that right arm down to the right thigh. Left arm's gonna reach up and over. And then bringing it back to center. Left arm down to that left thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Coming back to center. One more big breath here. Maybe you sit just a tiny bit deeper. And then slowly coming all the way up. We're going to turn those toes to face the front, popping up onto that back foot. And then gently stepping that foot all the way up to the heart. Both feet on the ground, hands to heart center. Inhale, nice big reach. Hands can stay reaching or come to heart center. Shifting weight to that right foot. Left knee comes up. When you're ready, stepping it back, planting that back heel, settling into your warrior one here. And then opening it up, warrior two. Settling in, feeling the power of the legs here. That front knee's pointing through that second or third toe. That back leg is nice and powerful. So really lengthening through the leg, pressing through both inner and outer blades of that foot. We're going to start to reach those fingertips forward, bringing forearm to thigh, left hand to the sky. And again, just checking in with the body. Can both sides of the body feel nice and long here? Can you lift up and out of that bottom shoulder? Option to stay, or maybe you start to straighten that front knee, settling into your triangle. If you're in that triangle pose, bending that knee, bringing it back, extended side angle. Coming on up, warrior two. Hands come to heart. We're going to turn those toes again, angling the toes out. Sitting on down into this goddess pose. I promise this is the last round. We won't do it again. But maybe this time you sit just a little deeper since it is the last round. Maybe you're feeling super hardcore tonight. If you liked that side stretch option, it's there for you. If you want to just keep it nice and easy, you can stay right here. Maybe you reach the hands up towards the sky. One more big breath wherever you're at. Slowly, gently, coming all the way up. We're going to turn the toes to face the front of the mat, popping up onto that back foot. Shifting that weight forward, left knee comes all the way up to the heart. Foot to the ground, hands to heart center. Again, just settling into stillness. Maybe the eyes close. Pausing here, reconnecting with the breath. Coming back to that intention or focus for your practice. We'll start to bring a little more intention and focus to the feet. Hands at heart center. We're going to start to shift weight into that left foot. Right knee comes up. Taking that knee out to the side. Bringing that foot in to find your version of tree pose, whether that's kickstand, calf, or thigh. And just settling in here. So not really getting to the next step of adding things in with the arms or exploring all the options, but just settling into this really solid foundation. That left hip is hugging in towards the center, so you're not getting super cockeyed. Everything is nice and strong here. Crown of the head is nice and tall. If you want to grow some branches, that's there for you. If you want to explore the same kind of thing that we've been doing, reaching the hands up towards the sky, turning the palms away, finding that little interlace of palms here, lengthening through the body, pressing the palms together, just feeling like the very tallest tree that you could be. One more breath wherever you're at. We'll gently release those hands down at our sides, bringing that knee back up, foot to the ground. Settling back in, intention in the feet, nice strong foundation here. Nice big reach, hands to heart. Shifting weight into that right foot, left knee comes up. When you're ready, taking it out to the side. And again, you choose your version of tree pose here, settling in and just taking some time to set up that foundation. So if you're feeling a little extra wobbly tonight, maybe making your way to a wall or a chair, something that can help. And just really focusing on hugging that right hip in, finding that nice tall length through the whole body, crown of the head's reaching up towards the sky. If you want to find those branches, that's there for you. Maybe you reach those hands up, turning the palms away, pressing those palms together, lengthening through the whole body here. Nice, tall tree. One more breath wherever you're at. Gently just letting those hands fall down at your side, bringing that knee back up, both feet on the ground. Inhale, nice big reach. Exhale, hands, heart center. Inhale, reaches up, folding forward. Halfway lift, folding forward. Left leg's gonna step all the way back, planting that back heel, coming on up, warrior one. Setting that foundation. Hands are gonna come to heart as we find that little lean forward. Maybe you find that twist tap, bringing it back up. Maybe straightening that front knee. One more time, just like that. You can always pop up onto those back toes. That is happier in that back foot, back leg. So we're going to come into that lean forward with that added option of twist one more time. Just lingering here for a moment. Maybe you start to extend that left hand outside the right knee. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. If you're like, ew, Jaime, no, you can stay right here. You can bring it back to here. Any and all options apply. If you're in that big twist, just gently bringing hands back together, bringing it back to center, coming on up, hands to the sky. We're going to plant that back heel, opening it up, warrior two. Nice long reach here. Forearm's going to come to thigh, extended side angle. Option to settle into that triangle pose if you want it. Bringing it back, warrior two. Finding our reverse. Coming forward, extended side angle. Coming back up, warrior two. Hands are gonna come down around the foot, stepping it back, down dog. Option to move through that vinyasa if you want it. Maybe you settle into stillness. Maybe you pause for a beverage moment. We'll all come to meet in that down dog. If it makes sense, the left foot reaches up and back, stepping it forward. Coming on up. You can settle into that high lunge, or you can plant that back heel, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Hands are going to come to heart as you find that lean forward. Maybe you twist and tap, bringing it back. Nice big reach. Two more just like that. This time as we come into that twist, we're going to pause. So again, same options. Maybe you stay there. Maybe that right hand comes outside the left knee, left hand to the sky. Maybe you stay in that nice neutral center space. If you're in that full twist, just bringing palms back together, bringing it back to center, reaching up, dropping that back heel, warrior two. Forearm to thigh, extended side angle. Option to stay, or you can start to straighten that front knee, settling into your triangle pose. Bending that knee, coming on up, warrior two. Finding our reverse. Coming forward, extended side angle. Maybe that top arm starts to reach forward. Bringing it back, warrior two. Hands come down around the foot, stepping it back, down dog. One last round of a vinyasa if you want it. We're all gonna meet in a wide kneed child's pose. So knees go to the edges of the mat, toes together. Just really letting the body melt all the way in here. Maybe you stack the arms or the hands to give the head a little cushion. Feeling the hips drawing back in space. One more big breath here. Gently just pressing your way up. We're going to bring our bum on down to the mat. Once you're there, just bringing feet straight out in front, making sure you're on your sit bones. And we're just going to bring hands out to the sides to start. So nice tall spine here, nice long legs, just settling into our own individual little yoga boxes here. So feeling that activation through the legs, toes are pulling back towards the body. Heels are pressing out. That little bit of engagement through the hamstring. Spine is nice and tall. You have the option to stay here if this feels like enough. If your low back might be a little cranky today, you can hang out. If you want to take it a little deeper, you can start to walk those hands forward, but trying to keep spine nice and tall. Heart is pulling towards the toes here. And you can kind of gently ease into this. So inhale finds a little lift and length. Exhale, maybe you crawl the hands a little bit forward. Making sure to keep that nice, steady ease of breath happening. And if you're folded, we'll just gently walk the hands back towards the hips. We're going to bring soles of the feet together. So settling into that nice tall seat. Hands can be on ankles or shins. Just allowing the legs to fall nice and open here. Spine is tall. You have the option to stay. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, maybe you start to crawl the fingertips forward. If you're folded, we'll just gently walk the hands back in towards the legs, using the hands to press the knees together. Just allowing the feet to come down to the mat. We're going to slowly roll ourselves all the way down here. Once you're there, just keeping the knees bent, feet planted, and take a nice big reach of the hands back behind you. Maybe reaching a little longer through the right fingertips, a little longer through the left fingertips. Just bringing the hands back to center. We're going to cross that left ankle over the right knee, using the palms of the hands to just gently press into the tops of the thighs, gently pressing the thighs away from the body, creating a little space for that low belly, a little lengthening for the low back. You have the option to stay here if this is happy and this feels the best for you. You can stay. If you want a little bit deeper hip stretch, just gently pressing the legs in towards the body, maybe reaching for the back of that right thigh. Hugging the legs in towards the chest. Maybe you keep this nice and still. Maybe there's a little side to side movement. 2 more big breaths wherever you're at. Just going to gently let that right foot come back down if it's lifted. And then just starting to hug left knee in towards the chest. So right foot is planted, right knee's bent, left knee is hugged in towards the chest. And then moving the hands to the back of that left thigh, starting to press that foot up towards the sky. So just settling back into that shape that we began our practice with. Maybe noticing any subtle differences between the start of class and now. Finding that length through the leg, keeping the head and neck nice and easy here. Maybe you're able to walk the hands up towards the calf. You can reach for that big toe. Just making sure wherever you're at in this stretch, whichever version, you're still able to find that nice depth of breath. We'll just gently start to bend into that left knee, hugging it in one more time. And then bringing that foot down to meet the other. Pausing here for a moment. Maybe again, just finding the palms pressing into the tops of the thighs. And then we're going to bring that right ankle across the left knee. And again, just finding that gentle press away of the legs, creating that little bit of space in the low belly, a little release for the low back here. And again, you have the option to stay, or you can start to hug those legs in towards the body, reaching for the back of that left thigh, settling into this kind of figure 4 hip stretch here. Again, finding movement or stillness. Two more big breaths wherever you're at. We'll just start to bring that left foot back down to the mat if it's lifted. And then just hugging that right knee in towards the chest. Pausing there for a breath or two. And then we'll move the hands to the back of that right thigh, pressing that foot up towards the sky, and just settling back into this hamstring stretch on the other side. Again, we're going to breathe here for a few breaths. So maybe you explore that length. Maybe you walk the hands up towards the calf or reach for the big toe. We'll just gently start to bend into that knee, bringing that foot down to meet the other. We're going to cross the left leg over the right, but doing this cross like you're sitting in a chair. And then arms are going to come out into that cactus arm shape or a T shape. And then we're just going to start to drop the legs over towards the right. So we're coming into this supine twist with this leg cross. If you get there and it just is not a happy place for you, And just bring it back to center and find a version of twist that feels right in your body. Once you've found it, just start to settle in, feeling that release, the melting of the shoulders down into the mat, that release and length through that whole left side body from armpit all the way down to the hip. Using the breath to create space. Taking just a couple more breaths on this side, maybe releasing any amount more into the shape. Just gently start to bring the knees back to center, pausing in that neutral space for a moment, and then releasing that foot down to the mat. Right leg will cross the left, and then as you're ready, dropping those legs over towards the left. Again, giving yourself space to maybe settle in or find a different shape. This one's just not doing it for you. And then once you're there, just starting to melt fully into the shape, into the sensations that it creates. Feeling that length all the way from the right armpit to that right hip. And then just gently bringing knees back to neutral, releasing that right foot down to meet the left. We're going to just lengthen the legs all the way out, reaching the hands straight back behind you, finding that nice long stretch to the body here one more time. Getting really long, fingertips to toe tips. And then when you're ready, just releasing fully into your final shape of the evening. Maybe the hands come back down by your sides. Maybe you come back to that space of bending the knees, planting the feet. And just settling back into that place and that space of awareness. Checking back in with the body, checking back in with the mind. Were you able to honor what you needed from this practice tonight? Create a little space in the mind, set some things aside for a little bit of time. And just using this moment of quiet and stillness, to maybe allow that intention to settle a little more deeply if it's something that will serve you as you head into the rest of your week. Or maybe you call to mind something else that you can come back to, revisit, find space for in your days ahead. Finding a little peace and a little pause. Just gently bringing a little more intention to the breath, bringing your awareness back to the space. Finding a little sway of the head side to side, little movements in fingers and toes. Taking your time here, rolling to either side. And as you're ready, making your way to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, hands at heart center. I want to thank you all so much for sharing this space and this practice with me tonight. The light within me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you all so much for being here and finding a little movement with me this evening. Just a couple quick announcements before you head off into the rest of your evening. So we are officially on to our kind of regular summer spring schedule since we're adding some more in-person classes. So you can find us here on Monday nights at 6. If you didn't get to catch the guided meditation today with Mickey, it is on the channel, so you can definitely enjoy that if you need to work in a little meditation into your week. And then Wednesday, Mickey's teaching the midweek flow at noon, so that will be here as well for you. So keep those in mind. Keep an eye on the social medias. I'm going to scooch in for classes opening up for registration for in-person. So we'll be posting those so that you can join some in-person classes if you're feeling it. But again, as always, thank you all so much for being here and sharing space and being here on the other side of screens with us. We greatly appreciate it. Yay. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for being here. And Rebecca, awesome. Yay, Karen. I'm glad it was a good start to your week. Yay, Lori, you are welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Monday. Hopefully there's sunshine happening where you are so you can enjoy a few moments of that. And we will see you soon. Cheers all.